What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Sorry for being a couple of minutes late. I was actually in the bathroom working on my mixtape. So I decided that I was going to make a mixtape, and that my first masterpiece is going to be a hit from Motley Crue, except for it's got to be a little bit of an updated version, wouldn't you agree? I mean, it's been so many years. So I was in there practicing hacking in the boys' room. You know, because after all those years of smoking, you go in there and you hack your lungs out. That's like, well, I wasn't working on the mixtape, but that was the actions I was performing. So anyway, I'm alive, I'm here, and I was able to push the little go live button. So, yay me! So, right a little bit before the show went live here, this would have been pre-hack. So, pre-hack, this was breaking news, and I figured I would just really cover it right here at the top, because it's kind of a big deal in my opinion. Ecuadorian candidate Villavicencio, and I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, killed at campaign event. So that just happened this evening. Ecuadorian presidential candidate Fernando Villavicencio was killed on Wednesday, President Guillermo Lasso said. I'm sure I'm butchering these names, vowing the murder will not go unpunished. Local media had earlier reported Villavicencio's a former lawmaker who had been polling at 7.5% voting intention had been shot at a campaign event in Quito. For his memory and his fight, I assure you that this crime will not remain unpunished, Lasso said on X, the social media platform known. And we're going to have to do that for the next, year now, every time that X is mentioned. Anyway, organized crime have gone very far, but all the weight of the law will fall on them. That's a quote from Mr. Lasso. Lasso said he would host top security officials at an urgent meeting. Videos on social media purportedly from the campaign event showed people taking cover and screaming as gunfire sounded. Reporting by Alexandria Valencia, writing... well, I didn't need to read that part. Anywho, this is crazy. And I don't know. I guess it just makes a little more impact on me personally, just because I realize just how tense the political tension is in this nation. And it has been in many nations. You know, there's a lot of stuff that is going on in many, many other nations, not just the United States. You know, questionable elections, all kinds of stuff. And it just seems like a whole damn lot of it is lockstep with other nations. So I'm not entirely convinced that it's all organic, if you will. Wanted to mention that, though, right up top. I don't know of anything in particular I have to talk about. I had to quit what I was working on earlier before my growling become audible. I decided, I thought, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try to use Blender to paint with. Not like the blender in your kitchen to paint with. I mean, that's actually pretty easy. You just throw a bunch of shit in there and don't put the lid on, hit go. Bam! You just instantly painted your walls. Not talking about that, though. It's a software program. It's actually a 3D modeling program. And you can actually do paints on aircraft the correct way with it. So I decided I'm going to crack that nut open again, and I'm going to try. I hate learning new software. I despise learning new software. I used to be a Sony Vegas fan, and then, I don't know, it became a little less appealing, and Adobe Premiere was much better. So even though I was familiar, I'd worked with Photoshop, worked a bit with Illustrator, no two Adobe products I don't believe are the same. I don't know, at least I don't get that. Maybe they are if you actually know what you're doing, but not so much for me. Anyway, I did make a little step forward in learning Blender, but a very, very little step. But it is that one step. The most messed up thing. All I have to do is ask the right person one question. That's all I need to know. The answer, well, actually there's a couple. But the big super question is, I get how they're telling me to texture an aircraft, but after the base texture, let's say you wanted to put some stickers on it, how do you do that? Because that's what I need to know. It's easy as hell in Blender to paint. That's easy to find, easy to do. Paint it whatever damn color you need it. But what about the stickers? Because we all love stickers. No, I mean, seriously though, the all the design work, the stripes or what have you, any of it has to be put on that 3D model. So oh man. Really, that's about all. I did start on, I messed around a little bit with a paint earlier. I started on flames on black. Don't like how it's turning out so far. I got the black metal flake though, perfecto, but not so much the flames. I was trying to do like realistic flames. Nah, I don't think that's gonna cut it. I just need to go back with the original thought, the original idea, the old school retro flames. Anywho. So yeah, the situation with Iraq. I saw this earlier, and I read it, because I was, well, the headline, Iraq, well, the actual headline for the article, Iraq rebrands homosexuality, says Reuters. I saw a headline, and I'm like, eh? I thought, no way, you're not going to even begin to convince me that they're starting to turn the leaf over there. And no, they're not. Well, they're not chopping heads off. That's, I mean, that's a little bit of a difference. But, yeah, they're saying not no, but hell no. Check this out. I actually like how they're handling this. Says here that Iraqi government has reportedly ordered media companies to stop using the word homosexuality and replace it with sexual deviance, with U.S. influence in Iraq receding. Traditional Islamic values are making a resurgence. Islamic values? That's just Islamic values? Really? Huh. News to me. The National Communications and Media Commission of Iraq said on Tuesday that it directs media organizations not to use the term homosexuality and to use the correct term sexual deviance, Reuters reported. The directive applies to news and entertainment media as well as to internet and phone companies, which must ensure that their apps comply. The word gender is also forbidden under the order, Reuters added. That's a little crazy. A government spokesman said that a penalty for breaking the law has not yet been set, but may include a fine or lopping your head off. Iraq's 1969 penal code did not explicitly criminalize homosexuality. Well, no, because you couldn't get away calling it a penal code, but offered no protections from the extrajudicial harassment to gays and lesbians. An update to the law in the 1980s legalized the honor killing of homosexuals by their family members, while a 1993 amendment to the Constitution introduced the death penalty for homosexual acts. Yikes, homie. Or is that homo? I guess it's homo. Yikes, homo. After the U.S. invaded Iraq in 2003, Occupation Governor Paul Brenner abolished the death penalty and... Sorry, I'm not the guy to do news like this. And rolled the country's penal code back, see what I mean? Back to its 1969 iteration. While no new anti-gay laws have been passed since, Western media outlets reported an uptick in attacks on homosexuals by police and militias after the partial withdrawal of American forces in 2012. Game on, huh? Despite the U.S. State Department claiming in 2019 that it trained Iraqi security forces on the proper observance of human rights. Yeah, it's how you hit them with the stick that makes the difference. The NCMC that issued the directive was set up by the U.S. occupation government in 2004. Earlier this summer, protesters in Baghdad burned rainbow-colored pride flags in response to a spate of Quran burnings in Sweden and Denmark. So, you know, I do have respect for how they're dealing with that, though. I do. That makes sense. Let's see. I was tagged. Tagged. Ah. Thought that was tomorrow, homie. Anywho. I'll go check a little bit later. Let's see. No, I mean, they're not lopping heads off, which, hey, I can't go against the Bible. I mean, asking me to speak against that would be asking me to speak against the Bible, and I'm not going to do it. The Bible says, lop their heads off. I can't help that. I didn't do it. I didn't put it there. But I bet there's a reason it's there. Coffee. Now I got a belch. Let's see. No new tab. Bad new tab. All right. Man. So this is something that we might want to pay attention to, and this is actually favorable news in comparison to what we had recently. But I have a feeling that Obrador is going to be milking both sides, because from my understanding, Mexico's pretty good at that. And they're going to milk both sides, just like Turkey has been doing, Syria to an extent, Turkey real bad. You know, it's what some of these nations do. Pardon me. So this is a big deal here. This is a very big deal. Mexico will not be joining the BRICS bloc of countries, President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said during his daily morning news conference on Tuesday. The head of state noted that he plans to focus instead on enhancing his country's economic relationship with the U.S. and other neighbors. We are not going to participate in this bloc, in this association. Of course, we celebrate it that other countries do. However, for reasons of proximity, geopolitics, we will continue strengthening the alliance with North America and the whole of the Americas. Obrador was cited as saying by La Prensa Latina news outlet. His comments were made in response to media reports that Mexico was among the nations which had applied to join the five-nation economic group currently comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The bloc's 15th summit is set to take place in Johannesburg later this month. Obrador denied the report, stressing that his administration's current priority is developing ties under the 2020 U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or UMSCA. The U.S. and Canada are Mexico's largest trading partners, with roughly 85% of Mexican exports going to the two North American countries. See, you know, right after NAFTA was introduced, oh hell yeah, they were the U.S. government, and the Mexican government, and even more so the U.S. businesses. Oh, they loved it. That was great pickings for them. All that cheap labor without anything to have to give up for it. No extra taxes. Oh, and then speaking of that, when their taxes came in, you're allowed to get out of doing it. You've got this method, that method, and since you're loaded, you've got enough money to pay somebody smart enough to get you out of all that bullshit. To tell you how much money in donations you need to be able to show receipts for. You know what I mean, right? That kind of stuff. I think it's an incredible amount of bullshit. And I think that our government has had us fighting each other in every which way but loose, to the point that we don't at all, for the most part, recognize just how much they have robbed us. Completely robbed us. It's insane. It's insane. And from what I see, everybody's turning their head to it. Everybody. You had people in the 80s, started in the 80s, both sides of the aisle, that started selling this country out like you wouldn't believe. NAFTA was a very, very big part of that. That's probably really when I started bitching about government policy. Because I do remember bitching about NAFTA. But I also remember Dad bitching about NAFTA. And he was largely the reason why I was aware of it and what was going on with it, because we had talked about it. And that wasn't a good thing. My dad wasn't, I don't know that he was left or right. I think my dad was just the party of common sense. Let's see. I do remember, now just remembering back, I do now remember Dad did vote. One time I had mentioned it on the show, and I wasn't quite sure my dad voted or not. I actually remember. Now I remember him coming home and having the "I voted" sticker on his lunchbox. Crazy how memories like that pop back, at least for me. And a lot of times for me, it's visual. I will see it. I can see his lunchbox plain as day with all that crap, whatever it was, all stained all over it. Little igloo cooler. Let's see. Pentagon eyeing Australia as missile testing ground. Well, it's not surprising that a headline like this comes out shortly after Russia says that they don't have intentions on keeping up with the whatever the act exactly was, the one basically that said they wouldn't be doing all kinds of testing, above ground testing and stuff. So I guess you can count on both countries backing out of that one, and they're going to start blowing the hell out of shit again. You can bet it. You can bet it. Absolutely insane. Here it says U.S. could test its hypersonic missiles in Australia. Wait a minute. First of all, we have to make them, ones that work. That helps. It doesn't matter how many you have if they don't work. Anyway, it could test them if it had them, Army Secretary Christine Wormuth said on Wednesday. Such a move under the three-member Australia-UK-US AUKUS Pact would represent a significant expansion of Washington's presence in the Asia-Pacific region. China has accused the U.S. of using the pact to play up conflict and confrontation with Beijing. One thing Australia has in spades is long distances and relatively unpopulated land, Wormuth told the AFP news agency. A challenge for us in the United States when it comes to hypersonics is to find open spaces in the United States where we can actually test these weapons. Australia obviously has a tremendous amount of territory where that testing is a little bit more doable. So I think that's a unique thing that Australians bring to the table, she added. So basically it's kind of like this. They say they got some land that we can blow the hell out of. Okay. The U.S., UK, and Australia signed the AUKUS Security Pact in 2021, with the three powers agreeing to cooperate on nuclear submarine construction and hypersonic missile development. China views the alliance as an explicit threat, with Defense Minister Li Shangfu stating in June that by creating a NATO-like bloc in the Indo-Pacific, Washington and its allies are looking to hold countries in the region hostage and play up conflict and confrontation. It is unclear which weapons the U.S. plans on testing in Australia, as the Pentagon's various hypersonic missiles are still in development. Russia and China are widely recognized as winning the hypersonic arms race. Don't forget North Korea. Moscow has been using its Kinzhal missiles to strike Ukraine, while its Avangard strategic range glide vehicles have been fielded since 2019, and Zircon anti-ship cruise missiles deployed since last year. The U.S. considers China the world leader in hypersonic technology, with the Defense Intelligence Agency particularly concerned about Beijing's DF-17 medium-range ballistic missile, DIA Chief Scientist Paul Fressler claimed in March that this missile's hypersonic payload could easily reach U.S. military forces in the Western Pacific. The struggle for hypersonic supremacy is not the first arms race in which Australia has been used as a firing range. The UK conducted 12 nuclear weapons tests in Australia between 1952 and 1958 for more than 2 dozen smaller detonations of radioactive material. A majority of Australians opposed these tests, which caused a spate of illnesses and deaths among nearby Aboriginal communities and site workers, according to International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons. Yeah, sometimes they conveniently miss people on stuff like that, just to kind of see what happens. I mean, no. They wouldn't do anything like that. What was that? The Tuskegee Airmen? Was it that? Or no, that's a different thing. That's the Tuskegee Experiment is, I think, what they call it. And, yeah, they let those men suffer. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Just let those men suffer to see what would happen, There's no other way to know. Just gotta let them suffer, I guess. Absolutely mind-blowing to me. Then they were spraying the radioactive material off the rooftops in St. Louis on the largely minority populations in St. Louis. I don't know if I said that. In St. Louis. And a big old thing you can read up about that. I mean, of course, they didn't have to go far to get their radioactive material. In fact, you wouldn't have to go far now. There's a creek you could go get it out of if you like. As long as the people that are living around it don't mind. It's messed up. There's a whole big deal going on with all that nonsense. And then there's a landfill. To my understanding, that landfill is still on fire and will be burning for a very long time. That's underground in St. Louis, and yeah, I know about the the underground coal mine or what have you in Pennsylvania that's been burning for a very long time and will continue to burn for a very long time. Pretty crazy stuff. Of course, we don't live too super far away from something beach. Is it Times Beach? Hang on. Yeah. Times Beach. A flood, and Superfund looking back at the Times Beach disaster nearly 40 years later. When was that wrote? Yeah, this was crazy. Basically, the people were poisoned with dioxin. My dad had worked at a place in Granite City, Illinois, that did the creosote treating on like railroad ties, and they actually closed up where he worked at. They closed down because of dioxin contamination. They had to close up shop. I think they were given the choice to clean up or close up or whatever. And, of course, they closed up. But, yeah, I remember that. Dioxin. And that's what happened as well here in Tynes Beach. They were spraying the streets with some type of something. Says here, oil in the streets is what it was. This town, Tynes Beach, Missouri, was the site of one of the worst environmental disasters in our nation's history. Nearly 40 years ago, an individual was paid to spray material on the roads to suppress the dust in this small Midwest town. What the town didn't know was that he was spraying those roads with a mixture of the highly toxic chemical compound dioxin and waste oil. When the town was inundated by a terrible flood in December 1982, that toxic mix spread beyond the roads and covered the town. As part of the EPA's 50th anniversary commemoration, we look back, talking about the history, or the anniversary, but nonetheless, pretty crazy. And I want to say that there was a movie that was filmed there, and I think it was Dazed and Confused, which I've never saw that movie in its entirety to this day. Nope. Not interested. I thought it was there. This is Austin. I thought it was Dazed and Confused. Hang on. What movie? Tynes Beach. There was a movie that was, a lot of it was filmed there. I thought it was Dazed and Confused. I had to find out again. It's not like it was not like it was a set-up thing to where it was all official and it was, no, they like literally were there and they weren't supposed to be there, and a bunch of stuff that was filmed. But I thought it was Dazed and Confused. It might just be some scenes of it. I don't know. I haven't saw the movie. Not interested in it. Not even a little bit. Let's see. I don't like the idea of promoting stupidity. And in my opinion, that's what that is. There's a difference in comedy and stupidity. And yeah, comedy, a lot of comedy in one way or another is stupid. I don't know. I guess it's a personal thing. I guess it depends the direction that it's stupid in. With Dazed and Confused, they were supposed to be just a bunch of messed up fuck-ups that were, I guess, partying all the time or whatever. Honestly, even though I was that cat, that was just it. I was that cat. I didn't drink, but I definitely doing something. And, you know, I had no interest in sitting there and watching a movie about the life that I already lived. Why don't I just go out and live it? I was always one that I didn't want to talk about shit. I didn't want to sit around and watch shit. I wanted to do shit. So that's why I haven't seen, there's a shit ton of movies, very, very popular, common movies that I have never seen because, I'm not interested. I got better things to do with my time than sit there with my thumb up my ass watching somebody else do shit. Let's see. Washington worried about Wagner in Africa. Hey, what's up, Angel? You're fine. I was late to the party myself, so it happens. Washington worried about Wagner in Africa, says Blinken. Well, yeah, I would say that you might want to worry about Wagner in a lot of damn places. And I don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly there's been some Wagner that's been at our southern border. I don't know if it's true or if that's just people blah, 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 blah. You never know. I've also heard countless time and time again about how, oh, you look at any picture and you don't see any women or children. It's all military-aged men, blah, blah. And every picture I see women and children. Yeah, there's more military-aged males than there are women and children. Agreed. But the last I recall, when a lot of the immigrants came to the United States, way back in the day when it was welcome, doing it the correct way. Let me make that very clear. Doing it the correct way was welcome, as it should be, the correct way. And, I don't know. It's just messed up. The entire damn system's messed up. And how in the hell would they even know who's down there and getting in? Because they have no damn clue. No clue. I don't. Yeah, I'm one of those people that believe that a lot of things are just best kept simple. Kept simple. Like no means no, yes means yes. That's pretty simple. I don't know. What I see happening is it's an invasion. These aren't people that are coming here because they just have no other choice. These are people coming here because they were invited, knew they were going to be given the golden ticket on the way in. And shit, now they can become police officers in our state. For years now, they could get a driver's license in our state. Illegals have more fucking rights than I do in my state. I still entertain the thought that an EMP might be the best damn thing for this nation. But you have to understand, I've gotten a little calloused over the years, so I'm probably not a good candidate to be in control of the button. You know what I mean? Probably just wake up one day and say, oh, fuck it. Howdy, Angel. Filling up my e-cig. I meant to do it before the show, and then I didn't get that far. I did get the battery changed, though. Yay me. Such an accomplishment. I might have to open up Blender tomorrow and growl at it some more. Like I said, I actually made some progress. A little bit, not a lot. Don't get too excited. Don't roll away from me. I know you guys are just all thrilled with me doing my... What was that acronym? Personal... Damn it, I cannot remember. Personal electronic nicotine inhalant. I don't remember what the S was. But we had an acronym, penis, for an e-cig. And it was perfect. Don't forget to grab your penis. Phil, I will blame Phil for that, by the way. It's your fault, Phil. I think Phil was the one that started. Let's see. Washington worried about... Oh, I covered that. Or at least said the headline. Did I read any of it, though? No, I didn't. I'm only half here. Oh, right on. Hell yeah, that'd be cool as hell, Angel. That'd be awesome. That'd be sweet. Oh, let's see. I'm still, well, this is... I think just now at the beginning of the cured stage. So, what I last harvested, so, I'll tell you what, it'll whack you. It's some good stuff, and it's stanky. Got a jar right here. Holy moly. Here, tell me. What's the stink level on that? Pardon her while she pukes. That's super skunk is that strain. So and they're not kidding. Not a bit. Oh, man. Okay. Washington does not believe the Moscow or Evgeny Prigozhin's Wagner group were connected to the military coup in Niger, but is nevertheless concerned the African nation could come under Russian influence, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said. In an interview with the BBC on Tuesday, he admitted that the U.S. is particularly worried about Wagner possibly manifesting itself in parts of the Sahel region. I think what happened and what continues to happen in Niger was not instigated by Russia or by Wagner, but they tried to take advantage of it, Blinken said. He went on to accuse the Wagner group of bringing only trouble wherever it went and claimed that insecurity has gone up, not down, in countries it has visited. Blinken's statement comes after media reports suggested that Niger's new military government had been considering inviting the Wagner group into the country to help safeguard their power and deter foreign intervention. The coup leaders are currently facing an approaching deadline to either return ousted President Mohamed Bazoum to power or face a possible military intervention by its neighboring states. Acting U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Victoria Nuland, sometimes dubbed Washington's regime change czar for her role in the 2014 coup in Ukraine, has even personally traveled to meet with the representatives of Niger's new government to deter them from mingling with Wagner. Niger's ousted pro-U.S. President Bazoum has also expressed concern the Sahel region of Western Africa could come under the influence of Russia via the Wagner Group. Meanwhile, the PMC's chief, Evgeny Prigozhin, has insisted that his group only fights on the side of good, justice, and those who wish to defend their sovereignty and the rights of their people. He also noted that the level of Washington's anxiety over possibly coming across his group sparked joy and invited Niger's new government to give us a call. It is unclear what role, if any, Russia or Wagner will have or will play in the situation in Niger, but Moscow has insisted that it is vehemently opposed to any foreign intervention in the country and expressed hope that the African nation will be able to restore constitutional normality. Well, yeah. Let's see. And this is the last one I have open. One moment. Man. All right. Shakespeare banned in U.S. school districts over sexual content. So, let me get this straight. Books with sexual content in it, like Shakespeare, can be banned. But it's okay to give them a bunch of literature on being a different sex or homosexuality or all this other stuff. So I guess what they want to do is they just want to ban normal sex in books. That's probably what they mean. They just forgot that word normal. I'm sure. Absolutely insane. Now this is Florida. And honestly, it's hard to say what side is doing this. I am against the banning of books, period. I don't know. It's insane. That's for sure. Just extremes on both sides, and neither side has the interest of the country or the people as a whole at heart. All they have at heart is interest in power and control over another group of people, and that's where it begins and ends. It's there is no for the better of the country, for the better of the people, It's I'm going to claw and kick and scream in this rat race as much as I can, and I think it's foolishness. All we have to do is quit kicking and clawing and screaming. That's all we have to do, is just stop. It really is that easy. Let's see. Read through the headlines here and boogie out the door. I can't believe it's already Wednesday. I don't know why, I don't know. This week's a bit of a blur. I don't know. Not the super skunk. No. Anyway. Police bust global pedophile ring after fatal FBI shooting, and I know a lot of people have been talking about this. You'll know when people are interested, actually truly interested in doing something about this issue. Because dirt naps will become an epidemic in the industry real quick. Plain and simple. I'm just saying. Want to stop, you have to discourage it. The laws don't discourage it, and that's if they were worried about trying to enforce the laws. But since the politicians are in large part involved or benefit from, it's ridiculous. And again, they got everybody chewing at each other's necks. Well, they get away with anything they want. And then you got other people out there that are capitalizing on the situation and profiteering on the situation. And I'm still sitting here with my arms up going, when's somebody going to do something about it? Oh, but this group is going and they're just busted into the bullshit. Until there's dirt naps happening across the board, guess what? You're not doing nothing. Yeah, you know. Ukrainian drones downed in Moscow suburbs. China claims U.S. ally seeks to permanently occupy disputed island. U.S. Aviation Authority refers unruly passengers to the FBI. Russia and China trade booming. Russia's grain harvest forecast upgraded. Most Germans against sending long-range missiles to Kiev, says a poll. Powerful explosion at factory in Moscow region. Let's see. Suspect in Crimean gas pipeline blast detained, says FSB. Western war business booming amid lagging economic growth. Pentagon, covered that. Political party offers alternative to tender. Top international drinks brand triples profits in Russia. And, you know, that should speak, you know, political party offers alternative to tender. Neo-Nazis returning from Ukraine pose risk to French security, says MP. I'm telling you, dirt naps and it'll quit. It will quit. There's something about the possibility of dirt naps being involved in your lifestyle that sometimes makes you think about picking a different lifestyle, you know? That whole job security thing is not even in the question whenever you're talking about dirt naps being in the picture. No longer about job security. They've got job security right now. They got the government protecting them, and they've got dumbass civilians that help the government, protect them. Or at least claim they help the government protect them. Well, that's not what they claim, but that's the reality of what they're doing. Because they don't have enough comprehension to realize that they're working for the enemy. But, hey, I don't know nothing. Let's see. Iraq, I covered that. Ruble sinks to new low. West must keep promises on grain deal, says Erdogan. Biden calls Grand Canyon one of the 9 wonders of the world in latest gaffe. Well, you know, he just added a couple. Biden calls Grand Canyon... Oh, I just said that. See, I'm not any better than Biden, I guess, right? I just need to go eat my Ben & Jerry's and shit my pants and go to bed. Washington worried about... and I covered that one. Germany buys scrap tanks for Ukraine. Biden family received money from Russia, says Congress. I know, you're shocked. Child killed in Ukrainian shelling of Donetsk, says authorities. EU prepares sanctions against Niger, says media. German military employee accused of spying for Moscow. U.S. threatens Central Asian country. Massive factory blast in Moscow region caught on video. U.S. told Pakistan to remove Imran Khan from power, says Intercept. And that's it. That would be the headlines. And that would be it for me for the day. I'm tired. I don't know. I just tired. Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here so I can go to bed and hopefully not be tired when I wake up. So anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. And we'll do it again. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.